Welcome back to Vlogmas Day 11. So glad you guys decided to join me back again. It's been fun having you. Today I have another good video about my favorite Christmas movies. And of course, just like yesterday, I have my coffee today. Although today it looks a little darker. It looks like straight coffee because it is. There's no creamer in this. It's just the Stoke brand again. However, this is actually so delicious. I never drink coffee straight, but this one is very good. It's also 6:15 at night, so I shouldn't be drinking coffee because I already had a cup earlier this morning. But later, my friends and I are gonna go to the Festival of Lights in Tampa, and so I gotta make sure everything's done by then and that I'm staying awake. So I'm gonna be up until probably like 1 a.m. again, so cheers. Let's dive right in with my number one choice, Elf. This one I will not take any criticism from. There are no flaws, no bad things to say about Elf. I think I've watched it probably 3 times already. And I'll watch it again. I have no complaints. Will Ferrell is definitely one of my favorite actors, so I think that helps. And I also didn't know that that's like one of his first big movies, if not his first. So that was kind of interesting to know because he did an amazing job. Will have my heart forever and always. Next up, we have the classic Grinch. They have the real life Grinch with Jim Carrey, and that's probably everyone's go-to when they say that's their favorite movie, as would I. However, they also came out with an animated Grinch, and it is so good. I've watched that one. I haven't even watched the Jim Carrey one yet. I'll do that this weekend. The animated one is very high on my list. It probably goes Elf, regular Grinch, animated Grinch, like a half step below. Amazing. And Tyler, the Creator's song, You're a Mean One, Grinch, is... I also have no complaints about that song. The Polar Express is also another OG staple Christmas movie. This one's just so lighthearted and fun, but it also feels like a fever dream. For some reason. I don't know if it's just the type of animation that it is. It's, me and my coworkers were talking about this. It's almost like claymation mixed with like modern. Like if that was an animation style. I think that's why it kind of stands out. I really love that movie. It's a feel-good movie. It was always on growing up. It's like one that you would watch at nighttime, I feel. Next up, we have the Santa Claus movies, specifically Santa Claus 3. The first one is where Tim Allen, it's him and then his son at the house, and basically Santa comes to visit and he's on the roof. Well, Tim Allen comes out of the house because he hears this noise and he looks up, he's like, "Hey, you!" And Santa like falls off of the roof and into the snow and kind of like dissipates away and just the suit is left. Tim Allen goes over there and he's like, "What the heck?" Puts on the suit just to try it on. And because he put on the suit and like tied it up, it like made him Santa Claus. So I guess the other Santa died, which now that I think about it is kind of sad. He becomes Santa Claus, he gets wrapped up into it, he has to move to the North Pole, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember what the second movie's about. Personally, my favorite is the third one because that's when Jack Frost is introduced. Not to give too many spoilers, but Jack uses Santa's own words against him and somehow becomes Santa Claus for a little bit. It's like this whole drama filled. It's a really good movie. I'm surprised I haven't watched those either. But that was like a staple in my house. That was on all the time, especially when Freeform was playing on cable. Yeah. There was 2 specific movies that I used to watch every single year at my grandma's house with my cousins and my little sister. It's a Wonderful Life is basically about this guy who is like not depressed, but he's just like frustrated with life. And an angel comes down and kind of like shows him what would happen and how those lives would be impacted without him. And it's this whole whirlwind that he goes through, and it's in black and white, but honestly, I think it makes the movie better. I think because there's not any movies that I watch that are in black and white anymore, it's like nostalgic and love it. And then the other one is Miracle on 34th Street. This was the other movie that I would watch at my grandparents' house every year for Christmas, and my grandma loved watching this movie with us. I actually haven't watched this movie in, I think a few years. So these next two movies are claymations that are also a little bit older movies, but I'm pretty sure everyone kind of knows what they are, or at least has seen it before. But the first one is A Year Without a Santa Claus. Now, I didn't know what this movie was called. I could not for the life of me remember the title. I only remembered like the certain figurines that were in the movie. But my coworker said it and I was like, wait, what is that? And I looked it up and I was like, out of the depths of my brain. So anyone who's been looking for this, it's called A Year Without a Santa Claus. Santa is too tired and is taking this year Christmas off, and everyone's like, what the heck? And the kids around the world are like, there's no Santa. It is all sad. Well, these elves go on a mission to try and convince Santa to come back and show that like there is Christmas spirit in the world, because that's why he's taking Christmas off. And then they have to deal with Snow Miser and Heat Miser, which I'm sure anyone who didn't know what I was talking about probably knows now. But it's like, they call me Heat Miser. You know that one? I'm not gonna keep singing, but it's that movie. And then the other one is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Oh my god. Okay, not even gonna lie, I was looking up the plot because it's been so long since I've seen these, but I know that they're so good. So this one that I'm gonna put up in here is the one that I just came across. Out of the depths of my brain. This is making my heart so happy. I have so many movies to watch this weekend, by the way. Thank God I have 3 days off work. Okay, I'm gonna get so distracted. I have to pull myself away right now. So basically, if there is somebody out there who hasn't seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, it's about Rudolph, who is planning to become one of Santa's main reindeer. In his trip around the world, gets basically like ostracized by all of the other reindeer because of his bright red nose. So it leads him to be a misfit, and then there's an elf who, instead of wanting to be an elf, he wants to be a dentist, also gets ostracized by the rest of the elves. So he then becomes a misfit, and they basically go on this journey, and then they find an island of misfit toys. You guys need to watch that. The next one is a fairly new one that's on Netflix, but it's called Holidate, and it's with Emma Roberts. Now, when I found this movie, I was like, I've seen all of the other Christmas movies. I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna watch a regular movie. It's Christmas time. And it was so funny. Like, I was dying laughing. That's a really good movie. Basically, Emma Roberts is single for the season and finds this guy who's also single, and they complain. They're like, it's so hard during the holidays because your family is picking at you for not having anybody. And they're like, when are you gonna get married? When are you gonna have kids? So they decide to be each other's holidate. So throughout the year, they get together and pretend to be with each other, and they'll go and see their families to say, oh no, I'm with him. So that way they stop asking them if, like, when they're gonna have kids or they're gonna get married, whatever. And it's just hilarious. I love this movie. A Boy Called Christmas is another really great one. It's about this boy and his dad who live together. There's this like story that he's been told growing up as like, you know, like a bedtime story of this land called Elfhelm with a bunch of elves and where life is happy, and just this land of elves. And his dad goes off on a journey to do something, and he's left with his like wicked aunt. Ends up escaping from her, tries to go find his dad. The journey there, and then he goes to try and find Elfhelm, which nobody's found before in his journey. The last one I have on my list of favorites is called Noelle. This is a really cute movie, a good feel-good one. You can put this on in the background and it's still cute. Anna Kendrick, it's her brother, her mom and dad, and her dad is Santa Claus. Well, it's about when her and her brother grow up. Her dad passes away, so her brother is now in line to be Santa Claus. She tells him, because he's under a lot of stress, to just take the weekend away, go somewhere warm, and then come back and you'll feel refreshed. And it's like a couple months before Christmas. Well, he leaves and doesn't come back. So the whole village is like, why would you tell him to go, blah, blah, blah. So she sets out on a mission to find him. It's a story of her trying to convince him to come back. Like, you're going to be fine. You're going to be Santa. I like this one a lot. You can find this one on Disney Plus, actually. And while this isn't a full list of all of the Christmas movies I like, because I pretty much like them all, these are my top rated ones. These are my favorites. Well, this one's kind of controversial, but A Nightmare Before Christmas is, I consider it a Christmas movie. A lot of people consider it Halloween. It's got Christmas right there in the title, but they're also from, like, they live in Halloween, whatever. As much as I consider it Christmas, I always watch it during Halloween. I think because I just like Christmas a lot more than Halloween, so I'm trying to get in the spirit. And I celebrate Christmas as soon as Halloween is done, so maybe that's why. But that's great one. This next and new one that I'm planning to watch is Xmas with Leighton Meester and don't know the guy's name, but it's about this couple that like breaks up, but then his family still invites her to Christmas without him knowing, and so she's there and he's not like planning to be with his family, but then he ends up going in. He's like, what are you doing here? What's going on? I heard that one's really funny. So I'm probably going to watch that one this weekend too, and hopefully I like it. Woo! It's almost 6:40, so we are going to go because we're going to go to the Festival of Lights. If you have any other Christmas movies that you love or just in general that I didn't mention, comment below what those are, because one, I love getting recommendations for anything. And two, there could be one that's like a staple of mine, but I just forgot because I already mentioned so many. So leave a comment below, but that is all for today's video. So again, I hope you loved it. I hope you got some good ideas for movies to watch this weekend, especially if you don't have too many plans. But once again, I will see you guys tomorrow for another Vlogmas video because we are almost towards the end. See you guys later.